You're listening to the Crystal Bar podcast, where crystals, astrology, and aligned living meet the cycles of the moon and year. I'm Claire, and each week I bring guidance and stories to inspire you to live with clarity, connection, and purpose. So take a deep breath, make this time for you, and let's begin. Today, we're going to be harnessing the energy of abundance, manifestation, possibility, because we are going to be celebrating the 8/8 portal and all it has to bring for us. Oh my goodness, you should hopefully be feeling that energy right now. Today is Wednesday the 5th, and we are building to the peak on the 8th. It then does travel past it. However, this Saturday is one of the luckiest days of the year. And yeah, I know we said this about Jupiter Cazimi. This is more, though, about life abundance. This is more about golden opportunity. And do you know what? Since the Cazimi, it started opening the Lionsgate portal. So it's been a long period of lucky energy and getting out there and grabbing what you want by the golden balls. But can I just start off by saying I'm going to give you an exclusive. It's 7:20 a.m. at the moment. I am recording this super early because my days are filled for the rest of the week with getting something ready, for working on something, for bringing ideas down onto laptop in a timely manner, for building something that's going to be life-changing for those of you who wish to study it. Yes, study. Because I am in the throes of writing the 5th course for the Crystal Bar Academy. And as an absolute exclusive, I'll get my words out, I'm so excited. Exclusive to you all, this is going to be the foundation certificate in astrology. Oh, do we need an applause? Okay, we're going for the cheering instead. Okay, settle down now. Settle down. So yeah, I have been asked for this course since launching the Academy. I've been working on my own skills. I've learned astrology myself with a beautiful teacher. Do you know what? When I was writing the course, I was thinking about making it really, really, really in depth. And it is in depth, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking like actually plotting charts, which is a huge undertaking. It takes astrologers a long time to be able to do that. So I've gone for foundation level. It's still meaty. It's still full of, sorry for those vegetarians for using that term, but it is one incredible course that I'm writing. Sorry to blow my own trumpet. That's the Leo confidence. But obviously I've been sitting with this course for months, going back to the notes, rewriting things, trying to make it as easy to understand as possible, but giving you all of the juicy details about astrology. So for those of you who are budding astrologers who want to know more about the planets and your zodiac and what it all means, this course is going to be for you. Yes, it is. Watch this space. I shall be announcing the launch imminently, although that's quite a lie. I've still got a lot to transfer onto the system and obviously rewrite things as I read things, and I think, gosh, that makes no sense. So bear with me. I would say imminently, though. Not today, not tomorrow, but imminently. Let's hope that I can get this all out and I don't have to rewrite things. But oh my God, I'm so exciting. I am so excited. I am beyond excited. This has been really igniting me again for all things astrology. And when it came to writing this podcast, it really, well, I love 8/8 anyway. I love 7/7, 8/8. They are kind of my favourite portals. Oh, and 1/1, 11/11. I've been seeing 3/3/3 a lot this week. A lot of parcels went out this week. If you're receiving parcels, weigh them, because many of them were 3/3/3. I've had phone calls and numbers ringing me with 333 running through it. A shopping bill had 333 in it. Yeah, that's definitely a number that's following me around this week, and I really feel it's supporting me on the creation of this course and on the build up to the portal. So I hope you are excited and really want to hear a lot more information. As I say, you are the first to hear this news. I hope you are, yeah. I'm building it up, aren't I? I'm just going to stop this now because I could talk about that for ages, because I really wanted to give this topic its own episode, because there is so much more to Lionsgate than simply seeing 88 on Instagram and being told it's a lucky day to manifest, or listening to Claire and telling you it's a lucky day to manifest. There's a lot more to be said about it. I want to talk about so much. So, okay, let's get into this, because I'm guessing many of you might be asking what on earth Lionsgate Portal actually is. Okay, so let's get into it. A little bit of story time. Let's have a little story time, if you will. Because every year during Leo season, the spiritual community recognizes this period of time between now and the 8th of August, known as the Lionsgate Portal, with the 8th actually becoming its symbolic peak. Now, I always think it's important when we talk about these things to understand where spirituality, astrology, astronomy, and modern interpretation meet. Because I don't know if you know, but the Lionsgate Portal, as we know it today, is largely a modern spiritual concept, rather than a single ancient astrological event that has always been celebrated specifically on 8/8. But what sits underneath this modern day phenomenon is actually fascinating, because we have the sun travelling through Leo, we have the symbolism surrounding Sirius, which is the brightest star in our night sky, and we have the numerological significance of the number 8. And all of these threads have gradually become woven together into what we now call the Lionsgate Portal. And I actually think that understanding those different layers makes working with it far more meaningful. So let's begin with a Leo, because even the name Lionsgate gives us the first clue. Leo is ruled by the sun and is associated with confidence, courage, creativity, expression, visibility, and leadership. You know all the vibes for Leo, surely by now. But this is the energy that wants us to inhibit and inhabit our lives fully. Leo doesn't want us to permanently stand at the edge of our own existence, wondering whether we are allowed to take up space. It's actually calling us, it's roaring at us to remind us that we are here to participate. We are here to create and love and experience, and most importantly, express ourselves and allow ourselves to be seen. And I think that's one of the reasons this energy works so beautiful with manifestation. Because manifestation requires us to acknowledge our desires. And you know what? We've got to be willing to say, even if only privately to ourselves, that this is what I would love to experience. This is what I would love to create. This is where I would love my life to grow. You've got to say it to yourselves, everyone. You've got to believe it. You've got to feel it. You've got to see it. And then alongside Leo, we have Sirius, sometimes called the dog star, which is the brightest star visible from Earth. Sirius has held enormous significance across different cultures throughout history, and perhaps one of the best known connections to this comes from ancient Egypt, and this is the Heliacal rising. This rising is first visible in the morning sky after being hidden in the sun's glare. It's become associated with the annual flooding of the Nile and the renewal that followed. And I think just about the symbolism within that, just for a moment, do you know what? This symbolism is something else. I want you to visualize the Great Pyramids of Giza and then the star rising above the peak and touching each peak as it moves along. It's special. It's very, very special indeed. And it's an energy and something that's been hidden. This hidden energy is returning to visibility. Water returns to land. A new agricultural cycle begins. Life continues and renewal arrives. And often people say that this symbolism matches that of Stonehenge, the way the sun aligns with the pyramids of Giza, the way the star aligns with the pyramids of Giza. So it's all very special. These astrologers, these sky watchers, if you will, were absolutely before their time. They were incredibly magical and incredibly clever. And they recognized how the seasons and the stars and the suns and the universe worked side by side. And this imagery fits so beautifully with what Lionsgate has become to represent spiritually. Today, it's about emergence and possibility, creation and abundance, and a new cycle beginning to reveal itself. And then, of course, we arrive at the number 8. So we've got the lion, we've got the star Sirius, we've got the sun, we've got the number 8. And number 8 feels so powerful. Because let's talk a little about numerology. 8 carries an incredibly strong energy. It's associated with personal power. It's associated with some ambition and achievement, that abundance again, but it gives authority and responsibility, and our relationship with the material world is put on a pedestal. It's not simply the energy of wishing for more, though. 8 asks you, what are you capable of building? Because put 8 on its side, and it is the infinity symbol. And I love that distinction. I love it because sometimes abundance is spoken about as though it's something that simply falls into our lap. But guys, the energy of 8 reminds us that abundance also involves stewardship. So if you're asking for greater success, are you actually willing to hold greater responsibility? If you're asking for a thriving business, are you prepared to grow with it? If you are asking for greater financial abundance, are you willing to change your relationship with money? And if you are asking to be seen, are you willing to step forward when the opportunity to be visible actually arrives? That is powerful manifestation. And when we arrive at the 8th day of the 8th month, we have this beautiful doubling of 8, which has become a symbolic symbol for amplifying your intentions around abundance and growth and confidence, success, and importantly, expansion. As I just said, turn the number 8 onto its side, and we also see the infinity symbol. And I think there is something rather beautiful in that too, because the reminder is that energy moves, life moves, opportunities move, circumstances change, and we are constantly participating in that flow. We are never completely finished becoming who we are. My loves, you may be listening to this today as somebody very different from the person you were when you listened to this podcast a year ago. Your priorities may have changed, your confidence may have grown. Perhaps something you desperately wanted 12 months ago no longer matters to you at all. Perhaps something you could not even imagine then is now part of your everyday. 8-8 a year ago probably feels so much very different to what you are now. And this is why moments such as 8-8 can be so useful. They give you an opportunity to check in. So ask yourself this: what matters to me right now? Not last year, not 5 years ago, not what everybody else thinks should matter, but what matters to me now. Okay, so I've just spoken about feeling and visualizing and doing and moving on and whatever. I hope you're catching the drift of this. I really do, because there is a lot of magic around you. And what I'm hoping you achieve from this podcast is you tap into that sparkle, even just a tiny little bit, and allow the universe to know you are ready. You are so ready. But let's talk properly about manifestation, because this is where I think Lionsgate becomes incredibly empowering. Yeah, I've just spoken to you a little bit vaguely, but let's get into the real crux of it. Manifestation is something presented as though we simply have to think positively enough and everything we desire will magically appear. And I don't think that gives us enough credit for the role we actually play in our own lives. As I've said, your thoughts matter, your beliefs matter, and your intentions matter. But so do your decisions, your boundaries, your habits, your courage, your willingness to learn, and the actions you take when opportunities present themselves. So when we talk about harnessing Lionsgate energy for our greater good, I don't want you to feel pressure to create an enormous list of everything you want the universe to deliver. I want you to become curious about possibility. Imagine that just for a little while, you remove the question, but how will it happen? What would you allow yourself to want? Again, as you visualize what you would allow yourself to want, don't suddenly put a block in the way, but how will it happen? Strip that back, get rid of that question. Again, ask yourself, what would you allow yourself to want? Perhaps you want to start something. Perhaps you want to grow something you have already created. Perhaps you want more freedom. Perhaps you want love. And perhaps you want financial security. It might even be adventure, or you might want to move a home, study something, travel somewhere, build a business, create a family, rediscover yourself, or feel more confident. Or do you know what? Simply wake up feeling excited about your own life again. Whatever it is, do not immediately argue with yourself. Because we are incredibly good at doing that. Don't get me wrong. We have a dream and within those seconds, let me say that again. Sorry, I'm getting overexcited. We have a dream and within seconds, our mind begins producing evidence against it. You could be saying things like, do you know what? I've not got enough money. I don't know how. I'm too old. I'm too young. I haven't got the qualifications. Somebody else is already doing it. What if people laugh? What if I fail? But perhaps the more interesting question is, what if you begin? You do not have to know the entire story. You do not have to know how it's all going to unfold before you take the first step. And that is one of the energies I would love you to carry through this Lionsgate. You are not being asked to know exactly what happens next. You're being invited to decide what you're willing to move towards. And when I talk about harnessing energy, I don't mean that we somehow capture an invisible force and make it obey us. I mean that we consciously use the symbolism, the atmosphere, and the intention of a moment to focus ourselves. Do you know what? We actually do this naturally all the time. Think about birthdays and New Year's, a new moon, the beginning of spring, the first day of a new month. None of these moments physically force us to change our lives, but they can create a psychological and spiritual threshold. They encourage us to reflect and choose and begin again. And Lionsgate can be exactly that, a threshold, if you will. A point in the new year, the year. Sorry, I'm saying new year, I apologise. A point in to me it is a new year. It's my kind of reset point, but a point in the year where you stop for a moment and say to yourself, I'm not going to sleepwalk through this next chapter of my life. I want to participate in it. And using this energy for your greater good means that what you call in should actually support you rather than simply impress somebody else. And this is where I would encourage you to unearth the manifestation. It's time to unearth it, my loves. Unearth the manifestation. Right, let's put it simply. Okay, if you're manifesting money, what does the money represent? Is it security? Is it choice? Is it freedom? Is it the ability to help your family? The opportunity to travel? If you're manifesting a relationship, what are you really seeking? Love? Passion? Companionship? Adventure? Partnership? Or safety? And if you're manifesting success, What does success actually mean to you? Because your version of abundance doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Abundance might be 1 million in the bank. It might also be having enough time to collect your children from school. It might be working 4 days instead of 5. It might be waking up without dread. It might be a garden. It might be a passport filled with stamps. It might be creating something you are immensely proud of. And it might simply be peace. And that is why manifestation becomes so much more powerful when we stop copying somebody else's dream and begin listening to our own. So write yours out right now. Be specific. Give it a tangible feeling and a tangible route to be able to deliver for you. Okay, for those of you who use crystals and work with crystals like me, if you would like to bring them into your Lionsgate practice, there are 3 that I would absolutely love for this energy. So we are going with citrine, sunstone, and carnelian. Gosh, okay, citrine. Guys, if you don't know what citrine is, it beautifully complements the abundance energy around 8-8. It's traditionally associated with optimism and prosperity and confidence and success, but I also love it because of its warmth. It carries that gorgeous solar quality that feels completely at home in Leo season. It's time to work with citrine when you want to expand your relationship with receiving, opportunity, possibility. Wear it. Allow that energy to flood through. And then we have sunstone. This is a wonderful crystal for Leo. The Leo side of Lionsgate, if you will. It's a joyful, bright, confident building crystal. And I particularly love it for anybody whose manifestation requires them to become more visible. So if that's you, if the next version of your life requires you to speak up and share your work, trust yourself to lead and create, or stop hiding your gifts, sunstone is a beautiful companion. And then I gave you carnelian, which brings movement into the equation. Carnelian is associated with motivation and creativity, for courage and passion and action. So if citrine is telling you to say, I'm open to abundance, and sunstone is saying, I believe in myself, and carnelian says, right then, yeah, what are you saying, carnelian? What am I getting from you, carnelian, in my mind's eye? It's saying, what are we going to do about it? So we've got, I'm open to abundance. I believe in myself. What are we going to do about it? And together, these 3 crystals create a wonderful Lionsgate combination of this abundance, this confidence, this action. Oh, yes, they do. Again, if you can hear snoring, that's Arnie. His eyes are twitching. He must be dreaming. But shall we do this? Let's create a ritual together. I want this to be something you can genuinely do at home without feeling like you need 50 different ingredients or a perfectly curated altar. I want you just to take a deep breath and allow yourself just to be. Find yourself somewhere you can have a little uninterrupted time, bit of quiet. You might do this first thing in the morning, in the evening, outside beneath the sky, or simply sitting somewhere comfortable in your home. If you would like to, light a candle. Gold, orange, yellow are amazing, if not white, or any colour, green for abundance. Choose one of your Lionsgate crystals, citrine, sunstone or carnelian, or simply use whatever crystal you already feel drawn towards. Place it beside you or hold it in your hand. If you're currently sat here going, oh my God, what do I choose? Jade, green aventurine, pyrite, clear quartz, orange calcite. One of those is great too. I want you to take your journal and at the top of the page write 8-8, I am ready for. And then allow yourself to write. Don't edit it. Don't make it sensible for somebody else. Don't immediately ask how it's going to happen. Write about the life you're ready to move towards. Write about the opportunities you'd love to receive, the person you're becoming, the things you want to create, and the experiences you want to have. Then, when you've finished, read it back. Notice which part makes something inside you light up. And that is where I want you to focus. Now close your eyes and imagine yourself living within that reality. Don't worry about creating the perfect visualization. Simply connect with the feeling. Imagine yourself receiving the email, opening the door, standing in the place and achieving the goal, feeling the freedom and celebrating the moment. And then open your eyes and write one final sentence. The sentence is, to meet this intention halfway, I will. And then I want you to choose an action. Not next month, not when everything feels perfect. Something you can begin today. Because this is where we anchor the spiritual into physical. You've set the intention, you've connected with the possibility. Now you give the energy somewhere to travel. And when you're finished, hold your crystal and say this. Now you may want to type this down. I welcome the opportunities that support my highest good. I trust myself to recognize what is meant for me. I have the courage to move towards what I desire, and I am ready to create a life that feels abundant, purposeful, and beautifully my own. I then want you to keep your crystal somewhere you will see it over the following weeks. Let it become a physical reminder of the promise you made to yourself on 8/8. Okay, I'm back. I'm just having a little drink for a moment. There we go. Lovely. A lovely abundant drink of water. Thank you. Right. You might want to skip this section if astrology isn't for you, but I've delved deep into your charts for each of the signs. And I've given a little bit more dynamic guidance for each of your signs. You might just enjoy listening and go with the flow. You might want to skip to your one. However you wish to listen, I am happy. So, Aries. For Aries, Lionsgate is asking you to put your fire somewhere meaningful. You naturally know how to begin, but this portal is less about rushing into 10 different directions and more about choosing the one thing that genuinely excites you and give it your energy. Manifest courage, creativity, and opportunities that allow you to lead. But remember that your greatest power during this portal comes from intentional action rather than impulsive action. Taurus, your Lionsgate energy is asking you to expand without losing your sense of grounding. Think about the foundations beneath the life you're creating. Home, security, money, self-worth, and the things that make life feel rich in ways that have nothing to do with appearance. Manifest something sustainable, something you can build upon, something that gives you greater freedom and security long after the excitement of 8/8 has passed. Gemini. This portal is beautifully connected with your voice and ideas and curiosity. Something you say, write, learn, teach, or share could become far more important than you realize. If you've been waiting to start the conversation, or share an idea, or put something into the world, Lionsgate encourages you to stop overthinking every possible outcome and begin communicating what matters to you. Cancer. Lionsgate invites you to look closely at your relationships with worth and receiving and abundance. Are you actually comfortable asking for more? Are you able to receive without immediately feeling that you need to give something back? This is beautiful energy for strengthening your foundations and manifesting greater emotional and material security, while remembering that your worth was never dependent upon how much you do for everybody else. Leo, this is your season, and And Lionsgate carries a particularly beautiful reminder for you. You are allowed to take up space in your own life. This is an opportunity to reconnect with who you are becoming and what you genuinely want next. Manifest boldly, but make it personal. This isn't about proving yourself to anybody. It's about allowing more of your authentic self to be visible and choosing a future that actually excites you. Virgo, your Lionsgate work might happen somewhere deeper. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You don't have to have everything mapped out before you begin. Oh gosh, yes, I'm just seeing fluffy clouds for you, pink and purples. Give yourself permission to dream before you organize the dream. This portal encourages you to create space for intuition, for rest, and the possibility you may have dismissed because they didn't immediately fit into the plans you wanted. Sometimes the next chapter begins when you stop trying to control every page. Libra, think bigger than yourself during this Lionsgate. Your connections, your friendships, communities, and future aspirations are beautifully highlighted. What do you want around you as you grow? Who do you want around you as you grow? What kind of world do you want to participate in creating? This is your sign to manifest aligned connections, to collaborate with opportunities that bring you into spaces that can flourish rather than continually adjust yourself to fit into. This is your time to flourish for sure. I can see that. I just need to add that. I'm just seeing like flowers blooming around you. Please do not just keep pigeonholing yourself to fit into things that do not fit you. Scorpio. Do you know what? This portal carries powerful energy around ambition for you. And that probably makes you laugh because you're quite ambitious deep down, I feel. But this is about visibility and the direction you're taking your life. And there may be something you're ready to claim more confidently right now, whether that's a goal, a role, a business, or a new level of responsibility, or actually simply the recognition that you're capable of more than you've been allowing yourself to pursue. Scorpio, don't be frightened of wanting success. Decide what success means to you and begin moving towards it. Sagittarius, Lionsgate speaks your language because this energy wants expansion, and so do you. This could be travel, learning, adventure, spiritual growth, teaching, and new experiences. These can all become part of your manifestation work. So ask yourself where life has become too small or predictable, because you don't necessarily need to turn everything upside down, but you do need something on the horizon that makes you feel excited to move towards it. Capricorn, do you know what? You understand better than most that manifestation needs those foundations. Lionsgate asks you to look at what you're ready to transform in order to reach the next level. But that could involve money, boundaries, commitments, or emotional patterns, or the way you share your energy with others. You don't need to carry everything simply because you are capable of carrying it, though. Remember that. Manifest support as well as success because you need support in your life. Try not to carry everything on your own. Aquarius, relationships and connection become part of your Lionsgate story. Think about the people you're building your future alongside. This can be romantic or professional. It could be deeply personal. But manifest relationships that allow you to remain completely yourself while still experiencing genuine partnership. The right people will not only require you to become smaller in order to belong. Apologies. Sorry, I felt like I was seeing something there for the Aquarians. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of rest from my readings because I take August off, and because of that, I'm finding my mind's eyes really working. Okay, yeah. Again, I see being pigeonholed. Yeah, the right people definitely won't require you to become smaller in order to belong. They won't tell you who you should be and what you are. Find your people, find your tribe. because when I say that, I just see stars and sunbeams flooding from you as if you're able to expand and grow and finally breathe. And then Pisces, your manifestations become powerful when you bring the dream into everyday life. I'm seeing strength here. You can imagine extraordinary possibilities, but Lionsgate asks you to give those possibilities structure. Excuse me, what daily choice would support the future you're visualizing? What routine, habit, or boundary would make it easier to become the version of yourself? Your magic doesn't disappear when you make it practical, my lovelies. It certainly doesn't, but sometimes that is exactly how the magic becomes real for you, Pisceans. Oh dear, excuse me, sneezing now. Oh, what's going on? Oh dear. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Where did that come from? Okay, so your 8-8 message. As we come towards the end of this Lionsgate special, I want you to remember something. You don't have to become a completely different person on the 8th of August. You don't need to manifest 8 things before 808. You don't need the perfect ritual, the perfect crystal, or the perfect words. You just simply need to become a little bit more conscious about the direction you're traveling, because perhaps that is the greatest gift of moments like the Lionsgate. They remind us that we have choices, we have influence, and we have imagination. But most of all, we do have courage. We have the ability to participate in the creation of our own lives. There will always be things outside our control, of course, and manifestation doesn't mean difficult things never happen. And it doesn't mean that every closed door is somehow evidence that we didn't believe hard enough. Life is far more complicated and far more beautiful than that. But there are also moments when a door appears and we have to decide whether we are brave enough to open it. There are moments when ideas arrive and we have to decide where we want to go or whether we want to follow it. There are moments when something inside us says, I think I'm ready for more. And perhaps this 8-8 is one of those moments for you. So, as the cockerel across the way starts crowing, and as Lionsgate Portal reaches its peak, ask yourself what you would love the next 12 months to hold. Ask yourself what abundance actually means to you. Ask yourself, what are you ready to receive? But also, what you're ready to create. Work with this energy. Set the intention, hold the crystal, my loves. Write the dream down, visualize it. Please believe that every possibility can exist beyond what you can currently see. And then take one beautiful breath, a courageous step towards it, because maybe the magic isn't simply in asking the universe to open a door. I want you to recognize the opportunities that are meant for you. I want you to have the courage to follow the ones that light something inside you. I want this portal to remind you that there are still so many beautiful possibilities ahead that you haven't even imagined yet. Lots of love and light. Of course, I'll speak to you again very soon, but remember, the right crystal will always find you. Manifest your dreams because they belong to you. Before you go, I have a very special discount code for you, especially for those of you who love buying crystals. So, the code is podcastcrystal. If you use this at checkout at thecrystalbar.co.uk, you will get a very secret discount. And yes, it is a secret because I changed the value of the code throughout the year. So who knows what discount you will receive. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you found it beneficial. And if you have, I'd be really grateful if you could just leave a comment, leave a review, and of course, if you have a friend who loves crystals just like us, please do share it with them. Sending you love, sending you light. Have a great week, because honestly, my lovelies, you really do deserve it. And as I said earlier, remember, the right crystal will always find you.